Hello and welcome to the Corner Flag. Arsenal drop points yet again. So is Arteta just a non-balled fraud? This is episode 202. Welcome one and all to episode 202 of the Corner Flag. With me is Aakarsh Chandan. Aakarsh, how are you doing this fine Monday?
Not bad at all. Looking forward to the football. I know we usually look back at the football, but personally, I'm looking forward to the Merseyside derby tonight.
Yeah, for those of you not in the know, which is weird because why would you not be in the know if you're listening to a football podcast? But the Merseyside derby is late tonight. Of course, we're recording on a Monday evening. The game kicks off at 1:30 a.m. Tuesday, which is late tonight. So by the time this episode hits your ears on Tuesday or whenever you decide to listen to it, the game would have been done. So we'll talk a little bit more in detail about the Merseyside derby later on in the episode. But for now, I think we need to begin, Aakarsh, with the fact that a team that we support has won the league.
Yeah, I mean, you've experienced that before, but it's new for me.
Yeah, Mumbai City FC are ISL League Shield winners. They have reached the summit of 46 points, which is a total that the second place team, Hyderabad FC, cannot now mathematically reach with the 3 games that they have in hand. 5-2 victory away to FC Goa. You watched a little bit of the game, didn't you, Akash?
I watched most of the second half, and what a crazy game.
Did you see both the Greg Stewart free kicks?
I did. I watched all the highlights and just so good.
You remember when you had come for the game at the stadium, you'd come for the Jamshedpur game? No, you'd come for the Hyderabad game.
Right.
And I told you in the stands that 2 of the best dead ball specialists in the league play for Mumbai City FC in Greg Stewart and Ahmed Jahu. And both of those players were not in the starting lineup. I think Jahu was carrying a knock, so he wasn't in the matchday squad. And Stewart, was on the bench.
Yeah, I think he came on towards the end, but there was one free kick towards our side when you were telling about this.
Correct. And what better way to prove my point by scoring? And that's the thing about FC Goa. Like, even the commentators mentioned it in the match. It was stupid of them to give those fouls away that close to their own box. And as soon as I saw both Jahu and Greg Stewart on both those free kicks, I knew ye to goal hai. Ye to goal hai, and I was not proven wrong.
Yeah, they were very good free kicks, and overall it was a great game because Goa started really well. They got a very early goal, but Mumbai seems resilient, and I mean, I guess you can't go 17, 18 games unbeaten without being really mentally strong, but that was quite a performance.
The thing about this Mumbai City FC team, and especially with the way the coach Des Buckingham has them playing, and I've mentioned this multiple times with the Mumbai City FC fans as well when I've been speaking to them, is he has made sure that this team sticks to its philosophy of how they want to play. Even when they're a goal down, which is rare, but when they do go goal down, even if they have like 4 opposition players pressing them in their own box, they will still play it out from the back. They will not clear the ball. It's fascinating to watch.
Trust the process.
Fully trust the process. And the other thing is, when they do go a goal down or when they are at a disadvantage in terms of the scoreline, they don't let their shoulders drop. Like, it doesn't feel like they're panicking. It doesn't feel like they are worried about what's going to happen, that they're in a losing position. They just continue playing like they were, and the goals just come and the victories just follow. It's remarkable what he's done with this squad this season.
That's great. Yeah, and when I was watching the Goa game, the commentators were talking about how Mumbai City FC has got all the other teams in the ISL worried because it seems like a start of a dynasty, a start of a reign where hopefully Mumbai stays on top for a while.
Yeah, man.
Because this season, I mean, after that Mumbai City game, I was doing a lot more reading up, and they've been on top of the table consistently.
Yeah.
To have that target on your back for 18 games and still go unbeaten is incredible.
It's something special that's brewing there, and long may it continue as Mumbai City FC fans, because like we mentioned in the last episode, on the 19th of February when Mumbai City played the last home game of the league season, at least, when we have East Bengal over at the Mumbai Football Arena, we're going to be there. The Corner Flag boys are going to be there. It's going to be a party. It's not confirmed yet, but we are pretty certain that the league shield will be handed out to the squad.
Oh, it sounded like it was the commentators made it seem like it was a certainty that
Yeah.
the last home game of
I'm
the
just
season,
waiting for the club officials to tell me ki haan bhai pakka hone wala hai. Because see, again, the thing is, and you relate with this, I support a team in the Premier League that hasn't won silverware in a while, so I'm not used to seeing that. So I'm
Right.
just, even though we've now mathematically won the league as Mumbai City FC, I'm still waiting for like club officials to tell me personally ki haan, trophy aane wala hai. And only then will I be like, haan guys, the shield is coming on the 19th of Feb. But we're going to be there. It's going to be a party. And to all the Conflag listeners, if you want to meet us and if you want to see Mumbai City FC hopefully end the league season unbeaten, there's still Bengaluru to play, which is the next fixture, which is an away fixture as well. But hopefully we'll be unbeaten there, and we'll be unbeaten in the last game as well. So if you want to see Mumbai City FC carve history, then get your tickets now for the game on the 19th. Get them on dreams@go.co, and we'll see you there. Tell us if you're coming. Let us know on Instagram, Twitter, wherever. Get in touch with us. Tell us you're coming, and we'll see you
and
there.
if you haven't made plans yet, make your plans. 'cause
Exactly.
We're getting there.
Exactly. Tickets go out really, really fast. So book them very, very quickly. Right. On to the Premier League then, Aakarsh, because 1-1 seemed to be the scoreline of choice in this last game week. Lots of drop points. Newcastle drop points. Arsenal drop points. And we'll start off with that Arsenal game. Arsenal won. Brentford won. Leandro Trossard getting his first goal for Arsenal, man. Would you say he's hit the ground running?
I mean, he's definitely trotting.
Yeah.
I don't know about running, but
Is he trotting? Is he trossing?
Trossing.
Trossing. Does he
That.
tross the street when he... Why did Leandro tross the... It's okay. Let's not.
Yeah,
Let's not. But yeah.
But yeah, not a bad goal for him. It's always good to get your first goal for the club out of the way quickly, and it was looking like it was a good performance.
Yeah.
Until
Brentford equalized, and that was the big talking point of this game, because Christian Norgard puts in the pass for Ivan Toney to tap in, and Christian Norgard, and let's get this absolutely clear, Christian Norgard was offside.
he was.
There's no doubt about it. It
No
was
two
tight,
ways.
yes, but he was offside. And a lot of pundits have spoken about this. We have spoken about this on the Conflag as well, where an offside is a yes-no decision. Like there's no gray
Right.
area with offside. It's
Right.
either offside or it's not, and that's factual.
Right.
The fact that there is a technology called VAR that is supposed to help with these decisions should make the factuality of these decisions absolute. And it is piss poor when a VAR official like Lee Mason forgets to draw the fucking lines.
It's ridiculous. I mean, you literally have one job to sit on that monitor and look and check mainly offsides.
Yeah.
That's mainly your job. Just do it properly.
Exactly.
I mean, this season's proving that whether VAR is good or not, we'll find out eventually. But the refereeing standards in the Premier League are pathetic.
Absolutely pathetic. And what this has done is it has done something absolutely unprecedented in the world of football, is that Aakarsh, you and I at the Conflag are feeling for Arsenal. Like we have sympathy for Arsenal. That has never happened before. And I'm sure all the Arsenal fans listening to us must also be like hitting the rewind button just to make sure that they're hearing the podcast clearly.
Pinching themselves.
But it's true. We do feel for Arsenal, because I feel like there was gross mismanagement of the whole thing. There was injustice done to Arsenal, and especially when they're in a title race, especially when Man City and Man United too, to a certain extent. We'll get to that. I like cracking jokes. It's my job. But with these teams hot on their heels, every 3 points counts, and Arsenal should have had 3 points here.
Yeah, they should have had the 3 points here. And I was reading they've lost out on a lot of points because of VAR. The Martinelli goal that was disallowed at Old Trafford. There was a penalty that Jesus wasn't given against Southampton. There's lots of VAR decisions that are going against them. And while we don't like Arsenal and don't support Arsenal much. I think when it comes to VAR versus Arsenal, VAR versus anyone, we hate VAR.
We hate VAR.
Everyone knows that. And it's giving us reasons to hate on them every game.
Yeah. Just on a side note, we do hope that VAR comes to the Indian Super League, because there was one instance in the Mumbai Goa match where the FC Goa goalkeeper Dheeraj Singh basically attacked Jorge Pereira Diaz. The only reason why he was only shown a yellow card is because there was doubts whether he was the last man or not, which looked like he was, but it was a contentious sort of decision. But he literally came out of his box and studded Pereira Diaz in the thigh. It makes no sense how that was not given as a red card. But that's aside. You think this entire issue that Arsenal have faced with VAR, with all the decisions that have gone against them, clear decisions that should have gone in their favor, the fact that they're not going in their favor and the fact that VAR is not helping them out or not carrying out justice the way it's supposed to, is another one of the breaches that should be investigated against Man City.
I was thinking about, because I specifically speak about this quite a bit, about the top 6 bias that happens with referees and all that. And I was thinking about it. But the point is, if there is a bias against Arsenal, who is it for? Who else is in the running? City has been sort of out of it and is not doing well with the Premier League at all. We'll get to the City bit. But the Liverpool's not doing well. It almost seems like a question of, if not Arsenal, then who? And not because there aren't other good sides in the league, but no one seems to be wanting to step up.
Man United. No, the thing is, I feel like right now, just because Man City is being investigated, they should just put this in as well. Just throw it in like a little bit more salt in the pan. Just another ingredient that you're throwing in.
But then City can turn around and say, but yeah, y'all are the corrupt ones, nah. Y'all are the ones, y'all are the Premier League officials, y'all are doing this. If y'all are on our side, just cancel the case.
It was nice to see Arteta's response to this in the post-match as well. He said that, I've just seen the goal again. It was offside, but we move on. We've got to look forward to City. So he's not dwindling on it. He's not wasting any more time or energy into a decision gone wrong, but he's focused on the next game, which is one of the most important ones, because now the points difference between Arsenal and Man City is down to 3 points. So if Man City get the win, they're going to go level on points.
But the sad thing with that is that with Arteta, the question is, if he doesn't move on, what else are you going to do? Because there are retrospective bans that players get, that managers get. They get fined, they get questioned, they get banned from the touchline or for the next 3 games.
Yeah.
The referees aren't questioned at all.
Yeah.
So if Arteta did start a Randi Rona about it, it would just lower the team morale, maybe earn him a fine, and nothing happens. Like after this decision was made and the other VAR decision that we'll get to later, is the VAR had a panic discussion and all the officials were called together for an emergency meeting. तो फिर उसका क्या? Like we need to start seeing results. We need to start getting reports of how is this happening.
Yeah.
So I guess Arteta has no other option but to just say, let's move on.
Yeah. And the thing is, you need to hold a technology like VAR to that higher standard because it is technology. And because it is brought into the game to rule out the human error that the referees would have committed, which is only natural. And I remember the world before VAR. I remember the terrible decisions that referees used to make before VAR. Whether they were offsides or they were red card offenses or they were penalty decisions, whatever it is.
Right.
But the fact that they were entirely human-made errors had a certain charm to it.
Yeah.
As an Everton fan or as a United fan or a fan of any team, if a decision made by the linesman or the referee in real time went against your team and you saw the replays and you clearly saw that was the wrong decision, you were angry about it for the time being. You would tweet a little about it or bitch to your friends a little about it, but then it was done with. You moved on and that was the end of that, because I think every football fan to a certain extent also realizes that bhai, mistakes happen, especially human error. There's such little margin for error. The game takes place at such a massive frantic pace.
Right.
It's impossible for human eyes to get every decision right.
And at the end of it, the law of averages also used to catch on. You know,
Yeah.
you'd have one decision that didn't go your way, and then like 6 game weeks later, one would probably go for you. So it used to be fine because it was, like you're saying, almost random and unpredictable.
Yeah.
Here you can predict that there will be at least 2 games out of 10 in every game week that are going to get ruined because of VAR.
I'm saying get ChatGPT into the VAR room. AI is the way to solve this shit.
Yeah, and I feel like, and we will get there. Like the offsides at the World Cup were fairly AI. And I mean, get them as quickly as possible because artificial intelligence is much, much more intelligent than Lee Mason for sure.
Yeah. I mean, who forgets to draw the lines, dude?
Well, it's an offside decision. What were you drawing?
Yeah. What were you checking?
Yeah, like I get that when there's drawing involved, it's very tempting to draw dick and balls. But you're on a football pitch, the one thing you have to do with an offside is check the 2 lines. It's 2 lines.
Yeah. Did you see, by the way, speaking of dick and balls, did you see that video that was going around on Twitter from the Portuguese league, where on Portuguese television, the analysts drew a dick and balls on the formation leading up to a certain goal.
Right.
So one of the pundits actually drew a dick and balls, and the other guy laughed and took it off immediately. It was
unintentionally, though, right?
Unintentionally,
right? Yeah,
but it was
yeah.
so funny.
Yeah, but I mean, if Lee Mason did that, at least there would be some entertainment out of it.
Exactly.
Kuch to do. Kuch kaam karo. You're earning a lot of money, and the Premier League is the self-proclaimed best league in the world.
Yeah.
How are your referees so shit?
Yeah.
How is VAR so shambolic? It makes no sense.
If Lee Mason would have actually drawn a dick and balls, I think even Mikel Arteta and the rest of the Arsenal squad would have been like, chal theek hai, you got the wrong decision, it's fine. We are okay, we laugh.
You added to the game.
A few inches to the game. But that was great. Everybody, all the Arsenal fans would have been happy. AFTV would have been very happy because they would have screen grabbed that and they would have made millions out of their YouTube videos. It would have just been amazing. Lee Mason, if you can't draw the fucking lines, draw fucking dick and balls. That's the least you can do, my friend.
Yeah.
Let's go on to Man City versus Villa because this was a very important game for Man City, who have also been a little bit shaky in their form. But they started the first half very, very strongly. 3 goals up in the first half itself. Erling Haaland missed a chance though, but he kind of amended it by assisting Ilkay Gundogan's goal for Man City, which was the second goal. Riyad Mahrez, man. It was surprising to see him on the pen.
Yeah.
I was very happy because he's in my FPL team, so I get an assist and a goal.
Nice.
And he's playing a double game week, so fingers crossed there. But Guardiola said that the players ignored his rules and he expected Haaland to take the penalty.
Well, maybe Guardiola had triple captain Haaland and the entire team knows that.
Yeah,
and
like,
even
let's fuck
Haaland was like, I captain myself, I didn't triple captain myself, let Mahrez take it.
Yeah. Or Haaland triple captain Mahrez.
Yeah.
Because when the penalty was given, Haaland and Mahrez did have a little bit of a hug. They did have a little bit of a hug, and Haaland was very okay giving the ball to Mahrez. And as soon as Mahrez scored, the first thing he did was he pointed at Haaland and came and hugged him. And they were very pally. I smell a conspiracy.
You think Mahrez hacked into Haaland's FPL account, changed the captain to himself, and he was like, "Dekh, now I'm your captain.
Yeah.
Now you might as well give me the penalty."
Yeah.
And Haaland was like, "Yeah, it's worth the points."
He's just like, I've already scored.
Golden boot to is mine.
Yeah, 31 goals I've already scored. Chal, let's get one over the rest of the Man City teams in FPL at least. Yeah. I think this is another allegation that needs to be thrown into the mix by the Premier League and investigate Man City for. I think we need to investigate Man City for every little thing. That would be great.
Who are your employers again?
Moving on to Riyad Mahrez again, just his miss in the second half. He said he skied the ball really badly, and he tweeted after that saying, "Has it landed yet?" with a rocket emoji. Love it when players are self-aware and self-deprecate.
And love it when teams are doing so well that they can afford to crack jokes on themselves.
It was really great. But speaking of all the investigations and allegations of financial fraud, Guardiola was talking about it. Of course, he has released a statement since because everybody had pointed out when Guardiola had said, I have told the owners that if they have done something wrong, if they are liars, then that's it. I'm out the door.
I leave tomorrow.
I leave tomorrow.
I am gone.
I am gone, and that is it. But as long as you're not liars and cheaters, I am here. I love you.
It was a thing of if you lie, you are not my friend.
Yeah.
It wasn't just I will leave. It was like dosti tootegi. Friendship with Man City now over.
Now Barcelona is back to being my best friend. No, but he had said that. So obviously everybody was being like, hey, abhi bolna, takle, abhi kya karega tu? Abhi, when is your resignation letter coming in? And he did release a statement and he said that the hierarchy have assured me that we have done nothing wrong, which is expected, Pep. You go to a guy who's just murdered someone and you ask him, hey man, did you murder someone? He's not going to be like, yeah dude, I fucking murdered him.
Yeah,
He's
the
gonna be
glove
like,
doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
The glove doesn't fit. मैं नहीं किया murder यार. क्या बोल रहे हैं? Of course I didn't murder him. Think about it in history. Who has admitted to doing wrongdoing? कौन बोला है?
Sachin Tendulkar, when he used to walk every time a decision wasn't given. And I'm not even a cricket fan. I remember my father getting so annoyed saying, but if the umpire is saying it's not out, why are you going?
Because fair play points मिलता है. So, that is also very important. He also was addressing the fact that if these allegations are proven to be true and punishment is to be given out, not only could there be a chance of points reduction in this season, but their trophies that they have won since these allegations have come out in all the years from 2009 onwards, their trophies could be rescinded and given to the teams who finished second in those specific seasons, which was great because players like Jose Enrique, who used to play for Liverpool, have gone on Twitter saying, am I a champion now? Which is just great. Fucking box office for internet fans. But Guardiola said, of course the trophies are all ours. They're all ours.
Yeah, but I thought it was ruled out. I thought they said that we cannot start handing out retrospective bans. And in fact, I think last week, Mukesh mentioned that Juventus had been stripped of their titles, which also I believe is not true.
But Juventus had been stripped of their titles in the last time they were involved in a financial scam. No, when they were relegated to Serie B for the first time.
I think they were relegated. I don't know if they'd been.
I think their titles were stripped. Their titles were stripped. This time around with the new scam part 2, scam season 2
sequel.
वो नहीं हो रहा है. But पहली बार जब हुआ था they had rescinded their titles to the best of my knowledge. But no, Guardiola said that it is not our fault if the other teams didn't win. We won those titles. We won it on the pitch. We know how we won it. We knew what went into it. Right from the Aguero moment, we won it by our own thing. Is it our fault? Is it our fault that stoppage time was added? Is it our fault that Steven Gerrard, and I have a lot of respect for him, is it our fault that he slipped?
That's amazing.
I love how Steven Gerrard slipping has become a meme not only for the internet but for Pep Guardiola as well.
For football, I think throughout history we will continue to speak about his slip.
Absolutely. It was great.
It will not slip out of our minds.
It will never slip out of our minds. Although, having said that, considering in the game before the Chelsea game where he slipped, I think it was against Wolves where they beat Wolves and he held the team in a huddle and the cameras were there and he very vocally, audibly to the camera said, this doesn't fucking slip now. And in the next game, he's the one who slipped. So the fact that you're saying this doesn't slip from our minds means that
it's a slippery slope to go down.
It is a very slippery slope to go down. Well done, sir. From one Manchester team to the other Manchester team, the one that I support. It was a double-header. Leeds playing Man United twice in quick succession, home and away in the Premier League. The home game was, of course, a 2-2 draw, but this away fixture ended up being 2-0 to Man United. And the game started off really, really frantically, of course. Ellen Road was booing every player from Man United that touched the ball, especially Harry Maguire. I feel like a few Man United fans might have also joined in that. But late
I
goals.
was booing Harry Maguire because he started over Martinez, which is annoying for my FPL team.
Yeah, it was also annoying when Martinez came on in the second half at 60 minutes.
So annoying because I have Andreas off my bench who has 6 points. Who
Same,
now I'm just
same.
not going to get.
Yeah, those same 6 points are on my bench as well, and they're not going to come off. But Mahrez.
Fuck you.
The 2-0 victory to Man United. Late goals from Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho sealing the win. Good to see Garnacho scoring, man, especially after being subbed on and then subbed off in a tactical change, after getting a lot of stick from United fans for not playing well enough, etc., etc., etc.
He went quite nuts with the celebration. No? He pulled out the Ronaldo, I'm here, and the Rashford, I'm in the head, and the calm down. He was just like, I'm going to do all the celebrations.
Yeah. He's just like...
He couldn't decide.
It doesn't matter. He's like Anthony. You remember Anthony's first goal against Arsenal, his debut goal, where he did like 8 celebrations?
No, I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember this? Okay, so Anthony, on his debut, scores a lovely goal against Arsenal. Runs from the goal. As he's running to the corner flag, he's shushing the crowd. Then he starts thumping his badge on his chest. Then he slides and fist pumps the air. Then he gets up and takes the ball, puts it inside his shirt and puts his thumb in his mouth as he's turning around and walking away. Takes 2 steps walking away from the fans. Turns around, looks at the cameras and does a tiger claw celebration.
Wow, so he has more celebrations than goals.
Equal number, I feel.
I mean, he must have celebrated every other goal he scored.
Yeah.
So he's celebrated a lot more.
His celebrations are done now. I feel like if he would have done a few less celebrations, he'd have a few more goals because he feels like in his head, sab goals abhi maar diya. But it was great. Rashford, dude, what a fucking player he's turning out to be.
Yeah.
I think
form.
This is why I'm excited about what Ten Hag is doing with Man United. Because he's taking players who are average under other managers and he's making them better. And it's not just Rashford who's managed to find this hot run of form in terms of his scoring streak. He's made Luke Shaw better. He's made...
Hey, I think Ole should get some credit
Ole
for
does get
Luke
credit.
Shaw.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw's been in good form the last couple of seasons.
Ole does get a lot of credit, but he's also made Luke Shaw into a centre-half who can play really well at centre-half. He's experimented with that change in position where he's like, if I don't have enough centre-halves available, Luke Shaw
or
can
if I have Harry Maguire.
Or if I... Yeah, that's the only thing. Harry Maguire is the only person he's not been able to make better.
Right.
But apart from that, he's made fucking Aaron Van Bissaka better.
I mean, Maguire's not going to jail, so I guess that's one step in the right direction.
Yeah, fair enough. He's made Fred and McTominay better. So he's making players that were not as good into much better players. And that's just exciting because I don't remember the last time a manager did that.
Hey, where's Donny van de Beek?
Injured.
But he's still at United.
He's still at United, but he's got a long-term injury. I think he did his ACL, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, he's not played much under Ten Hag. No?
He's not played much under Ten Hag. He's always had fitness issues. He's played a little while, carried a knock, so wasn't fit enough to start. Impacted his training. He's never had
He's disappeared. Even that the Everton loan was so bad, I forgot he was there. And then I just remembered that player existed.
The last time I saw Donny van de Beek, he was in Goa with David De Gea and Anthony Elanga. So maybe he's still there. But no, his involvement in the team this season is over because he's not going to recover in time to play any games this season. So yeah, it's going to be...
Back on loan at Everton next season.
No, I think they'll sell him. Next season, they'll probably sell him. Or Ten Hag might give him another chance as a squad player because he's still a decent squad player.
Right. But it'll take a while to come back from the ECL, I'm sure.
Yeah, but if his rehab goes according to plan, he should be ready in time for preseason next season. So, it might just work out. Before we end this half, let's quickly talk about Fulham beating Nottingham Forest 2-0, which was hilarious in this game. A very interesting fact about this game is this is the first time in football that both the Forest centre-halves were injured and subbed off in the 7th minute. Scott McKenna and Willy Bolly both came off in the 7th minute injured.
I didn't watch it. What's the game? Did they crash into each other? Was it... please tell me it was the same incident that got both of them injured.
Bro, it's Fulham versus Nottingham Forest. Do you really think I fucking watched the game? ये मैं किधर तो पढ़ा तो मैं बोल रहा है. I don't even know if it's true. It could be completely false and you've all been had. We don't know. But that's what you listen to the corner flag for facts that may not be or may be true. On that note, let's take a quick break. On the other side, we talk about more VAR fuck-ups in the Chelsea game. Plus, we talk about all of your questions and some great Nathan Jones quotes. See you on the other side. Welcome back to the corner flag, everybody. And as always, we begin the second half with your questions. Questions with the corner flag.
Dude, answers also, huh?
All right, first questions by Nimesh. He says, which player would you all love to swap from your team with CFC's busload of players? So, which player from your team would you all love to swap from Chelsea's unending squad? Aakarsh.
That is a very interesting question. Any player?
Yeah.
I don't know how.
I don't know if it involves you sending a player away.
Okay, I'll send 2-3. That was not the problem. I was quite excited last season when Everton were linked with, I don't know how to pronounce the Ukrainian winger's name, Mudryk?
Yeah.
So Everton were very, very strongly linked with him, and it was like every Everton deal, it was apparently very close, and then it didn't happen.
Yeah. Did they sign a contract? No? Okay, that's probably why.
I would like him because I feel like Everton needs some attack on the wingers. Everton needs a striker more, but let's be honest, Chelsea has no good strikers. So Mudryk. And I'll send their Jean-Philippe Gbamin. Because he's still at Everton.
Oh, wow. I remember a long time ago how excited you were about Jean-Philippe Gbamin.
Because we'd finally replaced Idrissa Gana Gueye.
Yeah, and now you've got back Idrissa Gana Gueye.
To replace Jean-Philippe Gbamin. It doesn't get more Everton than that.
No. I feel like Arnaud Danjuma not signing the contract is peak Everton. I don't think it gets more Everton than that.
I guess.
Because both Gbamin and Gana Gueye in both his spells signed contracts. And that as
true.
We have discussed, very detailed, is very, very important. I think I would go for João Felix, man. Because I feel like that is a position that United needs strengthening in, because Wout Weghorst is obviously a short-term loan solution.
I forgot he was at Chelsea with the busload of players that they have.
Exactly. And I feel like João Felix is the kind of person who can fit into Ten Hag's philosophy. He's very energetic. He can play across the front three. If it's Felix, Sancho and Rashford playing in the front three, all three of them can keep interchanging and confusing the defenders. Apart from Sancho, both Felix and Rashford can play in the center or out wide. So there's lots of permutations, combinations that can be played around there. I would say fucking maybe sign Weghorst on a long-term deal once the season's over, on like low wages, but to make him like a squad player as a backup, because Anthony Martial is always injured, and get Felix in as your main striking option. I think that would be absolutely fantastic.
And bye Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Chelsea offered money for Harry Maguire and United turned it down.
I think at that point we didn't have Martinez, so we didn't have enough cover in centre halves, right? So it was important. And also the way Ten Hag is dealing with it is he always says nice things about Maguire. He always says that Harry is playing really well. He's training really hard.
At least in front of the cameras.
At least in front of the cameras. Yeah, and which is again a testimony to his spectacular man management. I think he's handling every obstacle that has been thrown at him really, really well.
But which manager is going to say, oh, my centre-back, my very expensive centre-back is shit?
Jose Mourinho. He would definitely say it. Ralph Rangnick, he would definitely say it.
Mourinho doesn't call out his players, yeah? Does he? Has he?
I'm pretty sure he has. Conte would have also called out some of his players.
Conte probably would.
Tuchel has called out players. So, maybe not directly by name, but severely alluded
that
to.
That slabhead.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm not taking names. But fucking slabhead cost us the game today.
Ex-con. I don't know who that is.
Yeah. He could be Greek for all I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there we go, Nimesh. Those are the players that we'd love to get from Chelsea. Fazil Abbas Banatwala says, should United take it easy against Barcelona as we have so many fixtures and a thin squad? I think we should. And I think that's the reason why Erik Ten Hag played Maguire and Shaw in centre-back against Leeds instead of the settled first team partnership of Varane and Martinez, and he mentioned that in his pre-match comments as well, where he said it was due to rotation and it's due to the packed schedule that they have.
Right.
I feel like he is going to rotate his squad. I don't think they should take it easy against Barcelona, because if you're going to take it easy against Barcelona, you're going to give them 3 points, because Barcelona are playing really well under Xavi right now. Pedri, Gavi, they're all playing fantastic. And at the end of the day, United are in 4 cups. They're in contention for all 4 trophies. Go as far. Don't prioritize one over the other. If you're going to be a world-class team, you're going to have to deal with a packed schedule. The fact that you have a packed schedule means you're being successful.
Right.
So attack it to the best of your ability by rotating a certain players. And the fact that he rotated his centre-half partnership against Leeds just proves that. Now they're free and they're fit and they're rested enough to play Barcelona. And his rotation should work. Akash Goswami .7 says, Potter in or Potter out?
I think Potter out because of the same reasons that we discussed last week, which is that Chelsea is a bad fit for him. Chelsea is a club that is currently figuring out their structure with this new ownership. They are completely... There is no skeleton there. Potter's a club is a manager that needs the backing of a support system behind him, and at Chelsea he just doesn't have that. So I think for both parties it feels like a match made in hell.
Yeah. When you say things like Potter in or Potter out, you feel like it's against the manager. But I feel like both of us are going to say Potter out because we feel for the manager.
Yeah.
It's better for him if it's Potter out. He
For
should be the
sure.
one to resign and be like, yeah, fuck this dumpster fire.
Yeah.
You get somebody else to do this shit. I need to build a team in my image. I can't deal with 20,000 signings.
Right. And I think Tottenham is the place for him to go.
Yeah. Could be. But again, Tottenham's again not with Daniel Levy as the owner. He's going to have a tough time.
No, but they have got Paratici in, who's been doing well. They have some... I mean, like when you compare...
They have some plan.
Compared to any of the top 6 teams, I think they seem to be wanting to build a project, which is what Potter will want, and have a plan.
Yeah. All right. Next up is a question by friend of the flag, Sriram Sambasivan. He says, Man City with and without Haaland still the same?
We'll find out. Didn't he get injured in the Aston Villa game?
He said, Guardiola said that he's carrying a knock.
Right.
But it's tough to injure Haaland fully. Like a knock is something that he'll shake off. If it's not a big one like a tear or something. I think a knock is something you can
I
shake.
think they need some time. It is like we discussed, a team in transition. It's a team that's been playing without a number 9 for so long that now they just need to remember what it's like to play with a great striker. And next season they'll run away with it maybe.
Yeah.
If not this season also.
Yeah. I think this season they won't run away with it. They might eventually win it, but it'll be tight. Next season they might run away with it. Prerna _97 says, no questions this week, just sad for Arsenal. We feel you, Prerna. We feel you. That sounds like a very wrong thing to say, but you know what we mean. We are also, surprisingly, sad for Arsenal. And this doesn't happen usually. It's like the comet that's passing Earth right now.
Yeah.
ये बहुत rarely होता है. Next time we'll feel bad for Arsenal is after 55,000 years. That's what we are going for. Final question is, or comment is by noob_clicks. He says, congratulations on the win, Mumbai City FC. Bengaluru FC will be back on top next season. No.
Wishful thinking.
Yes, but thank you. Thank you for that. And that is it. That is all the questions we have. So thank you so much for writing in. We love listening to you and we love answering all your questions. So please keep doing that. Right. With that, let's move on to West Ham 1, Chelsea 1. And we continue the VAR discussions because VAR fucked up again.
Blatantly.
Thomas Souček with a blatant handball in the box.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, what I wouldn't even put it past the referees, because the Premier League referees are so bad that maybe they're just like, rotating goalkeeper, he's in the box. Anyone who's in the box can use the hand, no problem.
It's so bizarre.
It's bizarre. Do you remember us laughing our asses off on Luis Suarez calling for a handball against the referee?
Yeah.
This was worse somehow against the goalkeeper. It was just, he was good goalkeeping technique. He went down on his side. His hand was protecting the gap between his body. It was like, well done keeping. How did they miss that?
Yeah. The Chelsea Twitter took it to another level when they tweeted, Souček makes a great save from Conor Gallagher.
There was another one as well. You know how the Premier League Twitter handle every week will be like, oh, what was your best save from this weekend? Best save of the game week. So Chelsea replied to one of those saying, Souček. That was the best save.
It's just ridiculous how VAR fucks up this colossally week in, week out. And
it's just, but that's what I want answers, because we've done this so many times. And again, we've discussed this. Just put it on the speakers now. You have speakers in the stadium. Just tell us what the discussion is. You know how sometimes VAR comes and says, yeah, it was a mistake, but it wasn't an clear and obvious error, so we didn't say overturn it. Give us an explanation like that. Like, we have Souček in IFPL team. Give us some.
Yeah, exactly.
Souček's father is an amputee who lost his hand, so he is allowed to... Some explanation.
It's triggering for them.
Yeah, some explanation.
We put money on Chelsea to draw this game, so a penalty right now would be against that, and there's a lot of money. Some explanation.
Something. The referee told Souček that he really needs to handle the situation, and he misunderstood it. Give us some explanation.
Yeah, because
this makes no sense.
Translation from English to Czech is a little tricky, you know. It's a very common mistake to be made. But
just give us the information.
Exactly, the fans need to know about it. The thing is, I feel like the managers and the players also, because as fans, we are frustrated. And we're frustrated for other teams.
Yeah.
We're frustrated for teams that are not even our own. And there would have been a time when we would have been like, you got fucked over by the referee.
Now we're frustrated for Arsenal.
Yeah. And Chelsea. This is weird.
Geez. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's...
No, it's not. The thing is, I feel like it's gotten to a point where I want to see all the managers and all the players in the Premier League go up in protest and say the most offensive shit about the referees. Like, call them out for being cunts, right? And much like the PGMOL, later come out and say, oh yeah, that was out of order. It was our mistake. We shouldn't have said that and we are sorry. But now because we've said sorry, you can't fine us.
Something like, so I'm going to bring it up because it's not in the run order, but the Wolves versus Southampton game is in the run order?
It is in the run order because we're going to talk about Nathan Jones. But
right. But I just want to bring it up a little bit because Lemina's second yellow. Did you follow that entire situation?
No, I didn't.
So it's ridiculous. So Lemina got a yellow card for a bad tackle. Very obvious error. Blatant yellow card. No problems at all. Then there was a point when some error happened, some contentious decision was made, and the Wolves players went to the referee, and I think Ruben Neves went, and somebody else went, and Lemina was the third player to go. As Lemina approached the referee, before Lemina could say anything, he was given a yellow card, and that was a second yellow, and that's how he got his sending off.
What?
So I was looking into it a little bit later, and Ruben Neves in his post-match interview said that, do you want to know? The interviewer asked him that what explanation did the ref give? And Neves smirked and said, do you really want to know? Is this something I can tell you? And they were like, yeah, you can. So he said, well, I asked the referee, and the referee said that, as per the rules, only 2 players are allowed to surround the referee. And if a third one comes, then you get a yellow card. And that's why he gave the sending off. So I checked the rule, and the rule states that if 3 or more players surround the referee, any one of them can be given the yellow card. So there is that thing in the rule book, but it was just ridiculous. It felt like one of those things where the referee saying, I have the power, I'm going to send you off for not saying anything. It wasn't like he was abusive. It wasn't even like he could get to the point where he could speak to the referee.
Yeah.
So if referees are going to follow a rule to the T like this one, which also they don't, because United can surround the referees with 5-6 players, no one gets a single yellow. Here there was a sending off. And that we can sort of get an explanation. That's like, oh, it's in the rule book. How is this handball not in the rule book? Like, you have to balance it out. You have to explain both these situations.
Yeah.
And if you explain the Lemina one, okay, fine. I found out that there is this law in the rule book because of this situation. If the referees explained it, I would have learned from there.
Yeah.
But give me an explanation for every decision. Good, bad, ugly, obvious, blatant, shitty. Explain the game to me.
Yeah.
That's your job, to run the rules of the game.
Yeah.
It seems basic.
It's again, I feel like it's FPL. It's FPL, dude. I'm sure the referee had Lemina in one of his friends' teams or something. Like, he knew that his closest competitor had Lemina, and it was a great idea to fucking get him sent off. Although why you would have Mario Lemina in your FPL squad, I don't know. But
Just for that, you deserve sending
just
out.
for that, it's fucking ridiculous, man. Also, we have seen, and I know you said Man United, I take umbrage to that because Arsenal does the same thing. Man City also do the same thing. Every team does the same fucking thing when they surround the referee when the decision is not going their way. And whenever that happens, we never see yellow cards being handed
At
out.
all.
Like,
and here it was two people walking up to the referee and the third one coming dur se, and like before he could get into social distance area, he was sent off. It's the most ridiculous thing.
it's like American cops preemptively shooting black people.
Exactly. It was exactly that.
And I mean, it's not exactly that,
I mean,
Akash.
yeah, I
It's
know.
not exactly
It's
that.
like-
We
it's
don't-
exactly
we
like
don't-
that.
We don't want to be cancelled, dude. We just crossed 200. We just got this deal with Idea Brew Studios. We don't want to fucking get cancelled right now by
After
saying
the
the wrong
shit
thing.
that we have said earlier in these episodes, I mean,
That's
we
true.
Yeah.
I remember the Buy Black episode. You remember Buy Black?
No, and no one does. Let's move on from there.
Oh, I'll play that clip later for you. No, but I feel like it's fucking 1984, man. It's 1984. Everybody's equal, but some are more equal than others. That is basically it. And this is coming from the referees. The guys who are supposed to fucking control and officiate games are drunk on bloody power.
That is Animal Farm, not 1984. Wrong Orwell book.
Wrong Orwell reference. Right.
But B, I've been saying this for very long. I feel like it's become so much more blatant now, and I can't wait for the FIFA Uncovered type story that comes out 10-15 years later.
FIFA Uncovered, nahi, Premier League Uncovered.
Wohi, that kind.
I feel like it's ridiculous and maybe somewhat heartening in a certain sense that billionaires who own these clubs, states that own certain clubs, are being fucked over by a group of middle-aged men. Fit men, but a group of middle-aged men who wear black shorts. It's weird. Like, it's weird that Andre Mariner and Lee Mason can basically fuck over a team owned by millionaires or billionaires from America. It's weirdly amusing.
It's a series that'll come. I'm telling you, like you have American crime stories which had O.J. Simpson, and then this one, that one. You have All or Nothing Arsenal. You're gonna have corruption football, Serie A, La Liga, Premier League, European Super League, just Juventus. There are so many corruption stories. Every league, you can make a Champions League of corruption stories.
I think this is all a ploy to create content for OTT.
It's like the YRF spy universe. This is the corruption universe.
Exactly. It is exactly what Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney did with Wrexham. They didn't buy the club for the club. They bought the club for the documentary that it could provide them. It is content. It is a marketing opportunity, not just for the club. It is a marketing opportunity for Aviation Gin, for Ryan Reynolds' own ad production company. Everything put together. It is fucking genius. Right, let's get back to the football talk because Leicester beat Spurs 4-1. Brendan Rodgers finally getting something right. Spurs, Conte-less Spurs getting many things wrong. 3 losses and 2 wins in the last 5 games for Spurs.
Yeah, it's feeling like the gallbladders really messed things up for them.
They're now currently 5th in the league with 23 games played. Brighton are 6th with 21 games played. So 2 games in hand. Brighton are in a great run of form. We could see Spurs drop out of the Europa League places, man, with the form that they're going in. It's not a good season for them.
Yeah, not a great season for them. I think they started off bright. It's feeling very hit and miss.
Yeah.
Like sometimes Spurs really turn up. This game, I don't think they did at all. Like even the first goal that they got was very fortuitous. And then Leicester just ran riot.
Yeah. Nampalys Mendy scored a screamer though. It was his first goal for the club after 109 games. Took a while, but what a fucking goal.
Yeah, I feel like that 109 games ka bhadas he removed in that one volley, and what a volley
it was full bhadas. Bhadas is the right word for it. It was absolute bhadas. Let's talk about the Southampton Wolves game now, because Nathan Jones has been sacked as manager of Southampton. He played 9 games as manager of Southampton and he lost 8 of them. And I think he drew 1 of them. So is he the Premier League's worst manager in history, or is that still Frank de Boer?
That's still Frank de Boer, man. That's definitely Frank de Boer. But I saw this really interesting stat about Nathan Jones, which is that 11 Premier League managers have got at least 1 point at St. Mary's this season. Nathan Jones is not one of them. That is quite something.
Considering he was the manager of Southampton. It's fucking that his spell has been absolutely terrible for Southampton. However, his management has been absolutely brilliant for people like us because of the sheer tenacity of the quotes that he's put out, the sheer quality of content that he's put out. And we're going to do some Nathan Jones quotes. So this is the Nathan Jones quotes segment. On Wolves having a man sent off in this very game, he said, and this is when Southampton were leading 1-0 in this game, he said, "For me, the 10 men was to our detriment because it made it a free hit for them and added pressure on us." ये reverse psychology थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो रहा है.
Game के बाद, it's game's over. You've already lost.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's kind of like figuring out an excuse for a shitty performance, but missing the target completely. I feel like Jurgen Klopp commenting about the wind or the grass is way more accurate than Nathan Jones talking about how Wolves being down to 10 men was to their detriment.
I feel like I can totally imagine the boardroom at the end of the game. They would have been in the boardroom and they would have been like, you know what, maybe let's give the poor chap another chance. We started well, it was a good start. We went 1-0 up. And then he said this and they were like, yeah, no, he has to go now. Sack him yesterday.
Yeah, this is probably the quote that led to
final nail in the coffin.
Yeah. You want to take the next one?
Yeah, there's a great one that he'd said a while ago. He said, I could have stayed in a mining community, been a PE teacher and had a nice life, married a nice Welsh girl. I don't. I want to test myself on every level. And that's nothing against Welsh women. I just want to test myself. Dude, what? Like, I feel like after that, no Welsh woman's ever going to want to sleep with him.
Never. And the thing is,
They'll be like, why? Go now, test yourself.
Nobody was thinking it was anything against Welsh women till he pointed it out. Everybody was just bamboozled as to why is he bringing up Welsh women.
What a man.
All right, this one is great. This is on him curing homesickness. When I went to Luton as a player, I was homesick. The manager left and my next move was to go to Spain. No logic in that, as I was homesick in Luton and I decided to go to Spain.
What is he on?
It's amazing.
I'll tell you what he's on, because I know. He said it himself. He said, I wanted to test myself to be a player. I knew I wasn't brilliant as a player, but I was the fittest human being in history. I thought, I'm going to cling on to this dream and get as high as I can.
Fittest human being in history.
That I don't agree with, but as high as I can, it sort of starts to make sense why he talks so much rubbish.
Yeah.
because he decided at some point I'm just going to get as high as I can, and he's constantly stoned.
As high as I can. That's very, very true. Southampton fans chanting for his sacking. The fans saw a performance today that justifies those sayings, and that's fine. All I can say to them, as I understand, I totally understand. To be fair, they've sung that at any point I've made a substitution. Now, if we keep Romeo Lavia on the pitch with the booking, they were a counter-attacking side, so we were at risk. Was Romeo Lavia running the football game? Was he out battling and dominating everything? So was it justified? If it was, they were watching a different game to me. Why would you chuck one? This is the answer to the question which managers chuck their own players under the bus.
He chucked his fans also under the bus.
Yeah. Also, because he's saying whenever they sing songs about sacking me, I make a substitution. Which is a very weird way to approach your in-game tactics. That's not how it works, dude. Like, it is not how it works. What's going to happen? They're going to, at kickoff, they're going to be like, sack Nathan Jones. They're like, hey, guys, stop. Sorry, we're making a substitution.
Like, his assistant manager comes and says, boss, players are looking really tired. I think we need to make the change. He's like, yeah, but the fans are still not hating on me.
Yeah.
Why make a change if it's not broken? In the same press conference where he threw the fans under the bus, he also said that there aren't many better than me in Europe.
Yeah, I remember this. Oh my God.
And in that same press conference, he also said something on the lines of, I quote, there are certain people in the village and players in the building that we have to work with. At another press conference later, one of the correspondents asked him, what did you mean? Can you elaborate on what you mean by people in the village? Nathan Jones said, yeah, I'm not sure what I don't know.
So not only has he thrown his fans and his players under the bus, he's thrown the city of Southampton under a bus as well by calling them a village.
And himself. Because later they asked him, what did you say? He's like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it is great. This is fun. On the secret to football management. Their young players in the Premier League can be very unforgiving. So we have to learn quickly while developing young talent. That's it. Winning games while developing talent. That's basically what we have to do. Oh, thanks, Nathan.
I mean, why didn't you do it?
Yeah, surprising.
You knew what you had to do.
Yeah.
You just had to do it.
Yeah.
You should just won games.
Yeah. I think let's wrap it up with this one. I think I've held myself with real dignity in terms of recent weeks, and hopefully now we're coming through. This is the best one to end this segment with. Oh, Nathan Jones, we're going to miss you. We're going to miss you so much.
Yeah, we are. And send some of your stuff now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I also want to get as high as possible. I want to cling on to this feeling and get as high as possible with you, Jones.
But were you the fittest player in Europe?
No, I wasn't. But, I want to test myself. I'm not with just any Welsh woman. I want to test myself.
Exactly.
Nothing against women.
It makes sense that you're going to go back home to Pali village. So, well, there you go.
Yeah.
You have something in common. Right, let's wrap up this episode by looking forward to the Merseyside derby. Like we said, Liverpool versus Everton kicking off late tonight, which is Monday night at 1:30 a.m. So by the time this episode hits your ears, the match would have finished and the result would have been out. So everything that we're about to say now, let's just treat it as a game. See how much of it actually happens. So let's what's the right word? Retrospectively look forward to the game? I don't know. This is like
let's do a review for a game that hasn't happened.
Let's do a review for the game that hasn't happened. We've done this a few times in the past in older episodes we have, I remember. But it was a great game. Honestly, it lived up to its hype.
Yeah.
I think the fact that Liverpool are in such bad form.
And Everton is Everton.
And Everton is Everton, but Everton also have Daesh, and that played a big part in this game.
Yeah, I think this game really showed us that this is Daesh's Everton. Regardless of the result, I mean, let's keep the result aside. The performance was a Sean Daesh performance.
Because we don't know what the result was.
We don't know the result was. But we know that it's a Sean Daesh team that'll give a Sean Daesh performance.
Yeah, it was a typical Sean Daesh performance. And this is something that the Everton fans love to see, because even though the result may or may not have gone their way,
right,
there was passion from the players. The players were running hard. They were fighting for each ball. I think the fact that they're in a Merseyside derby made them realize that they needed to fight for the shirt and they needed to fight for each ball, and that's why the Everton fans were loving it. But Jurgen Klopp, man, What is he going to do?
I mean, so for Everton, it was always going to be a difficult game because it was at Anfield, and it's not surprising that what happened towards the end of the game, with the referees and with VAR, it's not surprising because let's be honest, it was always going to happen.
Yeah.
But Klopp's definitely, it wasn't an easy one for Klopp at all. I'm waiting to see what he blames this performance on.
Yeah, it's we'll find out in his post-match conference. But I really don't think Naby Keita's a good player anymore. I don't think he's ever been. I think it's been a bad transfer for Liverpool. I'd say one of the few bad transfers, because by and large their business has been infrequent but good. Even when it comes to players like Thiago, when he does play, he's fantastic. But Naby Keita has just not worked out, and especially for the money that they paid for him, and it was evident in this game.
Yeah, it wasn't. I feel like Liverpool definitely, we've spoken about this, the midfield needs a full overhaul. So that's a big hole that Klopp has to address. But what was exciting for me was the Burnley connection with Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
Because he's really shored up the defense with Tarkowski and with Michael Keane. They know what to do. So that defense looked solid. The result was unfortunate-ish, but
overall, you're saying you're happy and you're seeing that there's progress.
There's progress. We have a manager that wants to manage, that is capable of coaching this team, and it's good to see this Sean Dyche era. He didn't have a good start. Arsenal and Liverpool as the first two games, but 3 points against Arsenal, and then this performance, promising things.
Right. On that note, it is time to end this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully we got a lot of this preview right. We'll find out tomorrow.
We were so vague that better have gotten something right.
Yeah, correct. But thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you'd like to get in touch with us and tell us what you thought, you can reach us on our social media. You can find Aakarsh on Instagram at
Aakarsh Chandan.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Amogh and Aakarsh. You can also follow the Corner Flag on Instagram and Twitter at @CornerFlagPod. Do visit our website, thecornerflag.in. Support us by buying us a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/thecornerflag, or subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And do not forget to hit the 5-star button. Write us a review too if you can, because that really helps us. That helps us being discovered by newer listeners, and it helps us climb further up the podcasting charts. And who doesn't want that? We know we do. Shout out to Kezat Gharda for composing our fantastic theme tune. And until next week, it is goodbye from us. So say bye, Aakarsh.
Bye.
And it's bye from me.
Set summer in motion with the most adventurous Honda vehicles yet. Like the Passport and Pilot Trail Sport, and the Ridgeline, built for better off-road performance and engineered for more adventure. Summer's here. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.9% APR on a 2023 Honda Pilot, a 2.9% APR on a 2023 Passport, and a 0.9% APR on a 2023 Ridgeline.
Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
See dealer for financing details.